Hello and welcome to episode 80 of the Movie Bros podcast. We are your hosts as always, Duncan and Hayden. Salutations and hello.
Welcome back, everyone. If you're a returning listener, you don't need this introduction, so you can probably skip ahead a minute and a half. But if you have stumbled upon us, we are two brothers who love movies, talk about movies, and decided to record it. We cover all sorts of genres, all sorts of, just different kinds of stuff. I think we've covered every genre movie there is. But if you think of something that we should watch and you don't see it among our list, please let us know either on Spotify in the comments or on our Instagram page at the movie_bros, where we post updates, general information, other stuff. Just there are other things there.
So Hayden, what are we talking about / watching this week?
Well, we are talking about / watching The Illusionist from 2006. It is now officially 20 years old, which is kind of crazy to think about. This is written and directed by Neil Berger, which sounds like a made-up name you'd hear on, like, I don't know.
Burger or Berger?
I can't tell if it's Berger or Burger. It's spelled like, hamburger burger, but it very well may be pronounced Berger. I'm not sure. To give him the benefit of the doubt, and so the fact that he may or may not be a South Park character, let's say his last name is Berger. So written and directed by him, and it was adapted from the book Eisenheim the Illusionist by Stephen Millhauser. This stars Edward Norton, Jessica Biel, Paul Giamatti, Rufus Sewell, Eddie Marsan, and Jake Wood, featuring performances by Aaron Taylor Johnson and Eleanor Tomlinson. Composer here is classical pianist and orchestrator Philip Glass. Cinematography is by Dick Pope. And I quickly opened up to see, is there anything else that he's done? Because his name sounds familiar, and just a huge smattering of just every single kind of thing you can think of he is attached to as cinematographer. I mean, there's like Netflix comedies like Bernie, there's serious stuff like Me and Orson Welles, there's a ton of music videos. He it looks like he shows up all over the place with a filmography that goes all the way back to 1978.
Wow.
Yeah, he has been around a long time. And then Neil Berger, or Berger, depending on how you want to look at it, is known for, unfortunately, the Divergent series as being the director of the first one and main producer on the other two, and then as well as creative head on the show Billions, which I think ended a couple years ago, but that was a big thing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then the trivia I have for this is that this actually did get nominated for an Academy that year. What do you believe it was?
Score?
No. I would think that too, but no. So it got nominated for Best Achievement in Cinematography, which
okay.
I don't know if I think that's deserved.
I think it's okay.
I think it is incredibly adequate for the story this movie tells, but it's nothing flashy.
Which sometimes it's not supposed to be flashy.
I mean, that's very true, and something that I'll probably mention either purposely or not later in the episode is that for incredibly obvious reasons, this gets compared to The Prestige a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't hurt that it literally came out in the same year and also was nominated and won for Best Cinematography.
And, I mean, similar stories.
I don't see...
Well, I mean, okay, similar...
I would say similar subject matter. But I think the stories are vastly different.
They are vastly different, yes.
To the point where I don't know if it's fair to be like, oh, which one do you prefer? Like, that's not really the same thing.
Before we get into that, ratings.
Man, I think for the longest time this would have sat at like a really solid like 5 out of 5 for me. Like I truly love this movie. I think rewatching it now and maybe not like intentionally looking at it for like flaws or whatever. I think this is still still a very good review of 4 out of 5 for me.
I gave it a 4.5. Because yeah, for a while I was like, okay, 5 out of 5 movie. And looking back, I'm like, okay, there's nothing I would really inherently change, but it's not like a
It's
favorite
it's
movie.
it's
And
it's really understated in its genre of like mystery involving magicians, you know?
and I feel like Jessica Biel. I don't know. I've never found her to be a very convincing actress.
I don't think she's a convincing actress at all. I also think that she is beautiful and I don't care.
Sure, yes, she's stunning to look at.
She's so attractive in this. Holy shit.
There is a bit where young Jessica Biel, or whatever her Sophie, when she's
Yeah.
getting pulled away from Aaron Taylor Johnson, and she goes, "Edward,
Um
Edward." It takes me out every time.
so that's Eleanor Tomlinson, which is actually, she's a fairly accomplished actress in her own right. She was on the drama show Poldark for a long time. She's good now. All the flashback sequences are super cringy to me, and I think are kind of where I dock some points, as well as some of the way the ending comes together. I, great respect to Aaron Taylor Johnson. I didn't think to look up how old he would have been then either, but like,
Young,
oh, they don't do a good job.
I think it's okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, for their age, yes. Well, do you have notes? Is there anything you'd like to start with?
I have a few notes. Let's take a look. First of all, the whole just any. I mean, the whole film had it a light layer of sepia, but then like all uh, the flashback stuff was both a way harder sepia, plus they had this like
Yes.
uh
They had like a vignette filter where the edges were kind of like darker and black.
well, not just vignette, but like they almost had it look like everything had like like a little bit of a flash to black every couple frames, so it looked like a crank like
Oh, that's fun. I
motion
didn't
picture. If
I
you
see.
if you look
I
really
didn't
closely
even
at it.
notice it.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of cool.
The string music in this is fantastic.
Oh, I love Philip Glass. He is so talented, and I both I both want him to do more movies, but also don't want him to do more movies because like the few scores that he actually the few scores that he actually has are so beautiful and so special because I think there's only like like four of them, but it definitely shows that they hired just a modern classical composer and not like a film composer. It definitely shows.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Paul Giamatti is fantastic in this.
I would
Like
almost say
he's
he's the
so
main
good.
character.
He
He
is
is
kind of the main
so
character.
good. Like watching this back, I was shocked with how like I keep saying like a lot. I was shocked with how little dialogue Edward Norton actually has. He
Mm-hmm.
doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, yes, he does stuff, but like not really.
No, it is more Paul Giamatti's movie than almost anyone else's.
I mean, there is a lot that Paul Giamatti does very well. No one yells angrily like Paul Giamatti. That he's got
Correct.
such a it's great.
The whole I think some movies do it and it doesn't work, but the whole like starting at the end and then going back to the beginning.
I
Uh,
think it works okay
I think this
here.
works fine. It's just I know there's several movies where I'm like, they didn't need to do this, and you ruin this almost the surprise of it.
Yeah, and because there's so much that is really not explained no matter how you want to run the timeline for this movie, I'm glad that Um, yeah, I'm glad that they did that this time around.
Do you have a favorite illusion?
I haven't. I don't want to be like I don't like the illusions of this movie because I do. I think that the magic in this movie is too unbelievable to be counted as illusion, except for like, oh, the hand against the forehead thing. Sure, okay, that makes sense. So much of the other stuff just like fully is like levitation magic and
Sure.
like the ghosts and stuff. I mean, even in the flashbacks when he's showing young Sophie him levitating the
Yes.
card, he
Mm-hmm.
he's fully just using like actual like wizard magician stuff in this. So I don't know if I it's hard for me to call these illusions if the only way the story works is that they literally are real magic.
I think the hand on the head or um okay, so even if you call them whatever you want, if it's real magic or
Oh, I
not,
mean,
I think the sword is great.
I was gonna say I think the sword is great because it is conceivably practically done, and you involve so many other different characters
Mm-hmm.
that I mean, even if we never see them again, like we get to
Yes.
know the surrounding court of the prince. We get to know what his dynamic is with everybody. There's a lot that's accomplished in that scene that even if I think the orange tree bit is flashier,
It's
it
cool.
doesn't mean as much for the plot.
No, it's the orange is like, oh, let's set this up as this is like his skill level. I always kind of didn't love the painting one. It looked almost too airbrushy.
Well, I mean, thankfully that's also like over pretty quickly,
Sure.
and
And
we get to the sword one.
most of the stuff later on with the ghosts, it's cool, but you're right. It doesn't feel very, I mean, yes, it might be quote illusiony, but it doesn't feel, it feels too supernatural.
Sure, and I would almost I'm torn on like the mirror bit where they have Jessica Biel faint and gets caught and all
Mhm.
that stuff. Like again, that's also cool because it moves the plot forward, and the dark reds look really nice against the gold sepia. That's really cool, but also it is straight up just actual wizard magic again.
Potentially.
Like you have a phantom figure show up only in the mirror that stabs her and then vanishes. Sort of. Like I mean, again, it's cool, but like I don't know if I call that as an illusion. It's more Harry Potter stuff.
Thinking back about what you said about Edward Norton not having a ton of lines, I mean, even just the whole conversation after the first performance, where he's talking with the prince about, oh, does he claim supernatural powers? All of his answers are just beat around the bush, not like he's not
Oh
actually
yeah.
saying anything.
He's so I mean even like later when they're doing the ghost bit, he has almost no lines, and it the prince is kind of right. He's just letting the mob come to their own
Yes,
conclusions. Like he's
yes.
so defensive and it's super like avoidant with every single thing he says. Even when he's talking to yeah, Paul Giamatti, it's like he's telling him half truths the entire time.
Who has the best mustache?
Man, this is a great movie for that.
It is. I
Um
mean, well, it's the time area, but yeah,
well, and I yeah. I as much it is attached to the de facto villain of the story, I really like the crown princess. It just looks cool.
yeah.
But also it looks cool because it really fits his face shape. I think if I had that mustache, I would look like a stalker.
You might be giving off some like Eggman vibes. Yeah.
Well, no. We've now come around to it being cool again. If I'm giving off Eggman vibes, that's not that bad.
Depending on who you're asking.
That's true. And you?
Yeah. I think Norton's little like goatee thing works for him, but I don't think that would be my choice.
I honestly don't like it. I think it looked fake the entire time, especially when they would do like close-ups of his face when he's like conjuring the ghost and they really want to show him concentrating. Like it looks like a hairpiece that makeup has put on him, especially when
Sure.
you look close. I
Well,
mean,
when I look at it like that, I'm like, okay, this is something that, I mean, it might be fake, it might be an illusion.
I mean,
It
actually,
looks like a performance piece.
I will absolutely take that answer. If it's something that he put on himself, then that's definitely a
The
better
persona
in-universe
of
answer.
Eisenheim. Yeah.
Yes. Well, because they do say his real name like literally only
Edward
once
Ablamus,
in
Edward
the
something.
entire movie. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I think it's only really in just the third act. They really pump up the eye bags on him. Like he
Oh yeah,
looks
he looks like death.
terrible.
He
Like
looks
there's a
awful.
close up shot after the police have like basically surrounded the stage, where he's like you can see sweat coming down his eyes and he's all pale. Kind of creepy looking.
Well, I mean, and spoilers or whatever, and that's before he's found out to be an illusion himself. So
Which, I mean, I think that's okay for the story, but the cabin that he just like, oh, I guess I'm gonna go live with my wife in the woods. Where is that shot? Because that is stunning.
it definitely is. I didn't think to look it up, but it definitely is super beautiful. I think we are supposed to believe it's somewhere in the Alps if uh Crown Prince Leopold was Germany, maybe. So we're supposed to believe they're probably in the Alps somewhere. And I think he mentions earlier in the movie that his grandfather's cabin. So it's
Hmm.
probably supposed to be the same thing.
Well, I just googled and it was mostly filmed in the Czech Republic,
That
Prague,
makes sense.
Vienna. So it is actually where they say they are,
That's
which
cool.
is pretty cool.
I do think that, I mean, yes, this was 2006, so this was like the earlier days of learning how to color grade digitally as far as like Hollywood movies go, which is kind of forgivable, but towards the end of that movie, that sepia filter was really starting to grate a little bit. Like it was
See,
so yellow.
for a lot of it, I liked it because it gets, I don't know, it felt like the whole movie was like uh, held up by a candle or something.
I did like that because so
But
much of the movie is like
candle
um
lit.
well, not only that, but it's technically a flashback. Like so much of
Yes,
the movie is a flashback. I sort of assumed that once we caught up to the present of him standing in the office of
it'd be a little clearer.
yeah, like they would clear it up a little bit. They do finally bring in like they do finally bring in like darker bluer tones later in the movie. Like pretty much the only scene they show up is him crossing the stream and walking over to the cabin. So maybe it's more of a symbolic thing there to show that he's he's living a more richer life and he's happier or whatever. But yeah, I don't know.
Where do I recognize his like stage manager from? I definitely recognize
Oh,
him from something.
every Edgar Wright movie ever.
Okay, that, yeah, he's the friend, not the main
Uh,
friend, but one of the other friends in most of it. Yes.
yes, he shows up in so much stuff. Let me scroll through some. He shows up in like 15 things a year. He was in The Gentleman. Um,
The Gentleman, Sherlock Holmes,
Fast and Furious,
Deadpool 2. Hmm.
Atomic Blonde.
Yeah, he's been in, I mean, 118 films is what Letterboxd says. That's crazy.
Yeah. Um, he
Okay.
he he was in Filth as well.
Yeah, yes, he was.
World's End, Jack the Giant Slayer, Warhorse. Dude gets around. Is there anything you would like specifically change to maybe make
Uh,
this a 5 out of 5?
I think part of that would be coming down to how the movie is watched. Like, I can see, I don't know, just not watching this either at home or on a laptop on your phone, like going somewhere and seeing this in like a
I
cozy
think this
theater, I
would
think,
be
would make a
awesome to
difference.
see in a theater. I
Yes.
did watch this on my phone for the most part yesterday at work during
Oof.
my breaks.
Sure. I would maybe recast Jessica Biel,
I don't think I'd.
but I mean, her role, like, I think for what her role is, I think she's fine because she's mostly just
Yeah.
eye candy.
Well, I was gonna say, like, I mean, and no offense to her, but like, she's not asked to do a whole lot other than cry and pout a lot in this, which is fine because she's very pretty.
Hmm.
But I don't know that recasting her would really help.
No, and I wouldn't recast the Prince. I don't really think I'd recast Edward Norton. I would not recast Paul Giamatti. Those are kind of the
I
only other characters.
I think I would change the ending a little bit.
Okay.
There's a specific part where like the street urchin kid runs up to him, he gives him
Yes.
all the
Yes.
actual stuff for
Hmm.
the orange tree, and then we are
Yes.
briefly shown, like, where we flip through the pages and we show that there is a mechanical apparatus that made real oranges grow out of an empty flower pot. And I don't know that you can do that having already shown me, like, Gandalf magic. I've already bought and believed that he's doing real magic.
Well, he has always said the whole time that he's like, oh, these are illusions, these are fake, they're not real, they're for entertainment.
No, I know, but
What do you want from him, Hayden?
I I don't want them to explain the magic.
Well, and they don't inherently. It's just for Paul Giamatti.
Right, but we're watching it through Paul Giamatti.
Yes, and like him getting that, it's also him realizing, like, oh, not. I mean, there was not everything was as it seems, and all of this was actually planned. She's not dead. He's
That
not a
is always a
ghost.
very satisfying scene of him having, like,
The
all these
epiphany.
brain blast moments in the train
Yes,
station.
yes, it's
Yes.
great.
And
Again,
him
I
just
think
cackling, being like, God damn it, I can't do anything now.
yes. Again, great acting, Paul Giamatti.
I mean, granted, I haven't seen him in a ton of stuff, but every single thing he shows up in, he just steals all the scenes.
Mm-hmm. Actually, that makes me curious. Let me look at Paul Giamatti, see what else he's done that I would know. Again, he's done 114 films. A Truman Show, still haven't seen it. Um, okay, well, he's done some not good things. He did Turbo, the snail racing movie.
Haven't seen it, doesn't count.
San Andreas, the shitty The Rock movie.
He needed money. I forgive him.
But he's also been in good movies. So I mean, like Cinderella Man. He did Saving
That's a
Private
great movie.
Ryan. Straight Outta Compton. He was in.
Sure.
The Holdovers obviously is fantastic.
I still think that is so unfortunate for him. I mean, granted, for everyone else that year who wasn't Oppenheimer,
Sure.
because, like, any other year, he is taking
Yes, he's excellent at that.
best supporting actor in that. He's so good.
At the same
But
time, like
RDJ exists.
RDJ and like at some point RDJ should get one.
Right, and I think that, I mean, certainly the modern consciousness automatically associates him with Iron Man, but, like, he is, like, an actual serious actor.
Yes, he has done other things. Well, does it bucket?
I think it does, but not in an interesting way. I think there are lots of, like, physical things in this that you could put popcorn in, but none of them are all that interesting.
Nah.
Like, I don't know,
I
you can put it in the orange tree
that's just a
bin.
bucket.
Well, right, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, there is a bucketability thing, but it is literally just a bucket.
My thought was the only thing that is inherently to this movie is the locket. And like okay, at that
It's
point you're
too
just buying
small.
merchandise. It's just
You
a
can
locket.
sell it. Well, so something that I alluded to at the top, that I figured I'll get back into now that we're kind of past the actual, quote unquote serious topics we wanted to bring up. Um, do you believe it's fair to compare this with The Prestige? And if so, which do you think is the better movie?
I would say you cannot compare them just because they are roughly the same subject matter of like turn of the century magicians does not mean that like otherwise they're not the same movie. I would
It's
say
true.
absolutely you should do a double feature because I think they're both
I think
great
that'd be
for different
fun.
reasons.
Which one would you lead with?
I would think I would lead with Prestige because I
I
think by
agree.
the end, Illusionist is a little bit more cozy. By the end, you're ready to kind of like, all right, we're done. Let's wrap up.
I think it's more cozy, and also Prestige is like, it's not 3 hours, but I think it's like
It's
two
not that
hours
long.
40.
No, it's not that long.
I remember it being longer, so I feel
Hold
like you want
on.
to. I think you want to get that one out of the way first.
It's 2 hour 10 minute. It's not that bad.
And if you would like to hear our less coherent and possibly more jumbled version of this, where we talk about the Prestige, go to our literal first episode ever, I think.
Yeah, it's in the first 5 to 10 episodes, somewhere in there.
If we still have it up, I think we unlisted some of them because there was just so many issues.
Unknown. With that, is there anything, Hayden, that let's start with watched recently in the last week or so?
Well, the last episode I mentioned I watched a movie called The Thin Man. I found out they made 6 of them,
Jesus.
so I watched another one. And
Okay.
it was a lot of fun. I mean, it is very much, again, there is definitely a murder mystery happening. The detective still doesn't really give a shit and just pounds martinis and scotch and like Manhattans for the entire show. The back and forth that he has with his wife is really fun and kind of nice to see a married couple like in good nature rib each other but still have each other's backs and things like that in a because I don't feel like that's something that's done all that much anymore. It's
Sure.
it's usually a more divorce humor, I guess. But I had a lot of fun with it. I'm gonna see if I can track down any more of them. I think this one was called The Thin Man Again. Uh,
All right.
they're all very goofy. There's a dog main character who never speaks but definitely has a lot of personality called Asta. Um, so I watched that, and I was gonna start. So that is technically all that I've watched, but I was gonna start a Tubi original this afternoon called uh the Cobblers, the Gobblers. I don't know, something. It's got like a
The
big
hash ringing, the slash ringing.
the hash slinging slasher. Yeah, no, but it's got like a it's a quote unquote Tubi original horror movie. Got
Sounds
these
bad.
weird spider leg looking things on like the top of the poster. It looked cheap and probably not very good, but a good way to kill um a couple lunch breaks. And that's what I'm not that that's the only use for Tubi because obviously it isn't, but like it's really nice that I don't have to pre-download anything to get it to work on my phone. Like
Mm-hmm.
usually if it's Netflix, I'll have to, sit there and download the whole thing onto my phone so it's saved so I don't have to rely on Wi-Fi. I don't know how Tubi's doing it, but I don't have to do that with its service. So I am enjoying doing that.
I wonder if it's because it's not as high quality.
It probably is.
Anything coming out that you are looking forward to that's releasing, I don't know, soon that we either have or have not talked about?
That we haven't talked about. I mean, there's Super Mario Odyssey, but we've talked
Eh,
about it. Um I think that genuinely might be it. I
it
mean,
is
I
kind of a dead time
in
right now.
in the next month or so, I think we're going to be getting Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, that time travel horror science fiction thing from Gore Verbinski, but that's still over a month off. I think that literally might be it. Oh, well, I mean, it's not a movie, but season 2 of Free Render is now out on Netflix, so I'll be probably binging that this weekend.
Okay. I've never heard of it, but
I mentioned the first season to you a couple months ago, so it's totally fine if you forgot. It's an anime thing. It's like sort of D&D kind of vibes where it's the elf that essentially, for all intents and purposes doesn't age, so it's about her trying to learn to get to know people before they essentially, you know, die out and she's forever in her 30s or whatever it may be. It's very good. It's very talk heavy. It's not an action show, but I really enjoy the characters. Duncan, what have you watched? What are you looking forward to? Do you have any movie news to share?
looking forward to. There's two movies that I added to my watch list recently. One's called Tuner. It's coming out, I think, in a couple months. It stars
Tuner or Tooner?
Tuner. It's about Dustin Hoffman and this young fella who is in one of the recent seasons of White Lotus as piano tuners in
Huh.
New York. I think it
Okay.
looks interesting.
Cool,
Uh,
cool.
and then another one called Poetic License. I know nothing about it. All I know is it stars Cooper Hoffman, who is the son of Philip Seymour Hoffman, who he was
Sure.
also in The Long Walk, Licorice Pizza, and it's directed by Maud Apatow, who is the daughter of Judd Apatow.
So it's a movie about nepo babies, I assume.
I I don't know. It might be good. It might be shit. Who knows? So
I was more
that's
saying that to be
yes,
funny.
yes.
So something that we actually shared on our Instagram is that we now have set photos from Highlander,
Yeah, yeah.
which
They look
hell
great
yeah. I mean, we are just definitely glazing it for Henry Cavill reasons, as there's literally nothing else that we know
in the
about it.
shots. Yeah.
But hey, that's cool.
No, it looks good. I like lighting. He looks good. I'm sold.
Yeah.
This week it's been a movie heavy week because well, it's cold as fuck or it's been raining. Or I'm like, well, usually the person that I go do things with is not available, so I'm just gonna sit inside and watch movies. So
Sure.
I started with the Thursday Murder Club, which was not great at all.
I had
This is
heard
a
that.
Netflix. I can see how mom and dad might like this. It's directed by Christopher Columbus, who I mean, he did Home Alone and Harry Potter, and
I actually heard from them that they didn't like it either.
oh well, okay, because I gave it
Yeah.
like 1.5 stars. It definitely felt like Netflix trying to like, oh, here's another demographic that we can rope in, which is like older people that like mysteries, and it just wasn't good. I watched Train Dreams. This is a
Oh, what'd you think?
Best Picture nominated film, among other accolades that potentially might go its way.
I've seen it
Um,
as well. I'm curious.
I thought the lighting and the cinematography was beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
I think it was much more of a somber watch than I thought it was going to be.
I think I mentioned that to you last week. I'm like, hey, I think you would enjoy this, but maybe not right now.
But again, the lighting was really, I mean, again, the PNW is a beautiful place to live.
It is.
I
Sometimes.
watched sometimes. I watched Air Force One, which is Harrison Ford as the president who gets skyjacked on Air Force One by a bunch of neo-nationalists, aka Gary Oldman.
Sure.
And it's basically
What's the.
Die Hard, but just not as fun.
Isn't there a Nicolas Cage movie? What am I thinking of where he hijacks a plane?
I don't know.
Con Air.
That's
I'm
part
thinking
of
of
Con
Con
Air.
Air.
Yeah.
Sorry, go
So
ahead.
you're good. So Air Force One, but 3 out of 5, it's fine. The parents chose to watch, and I'm like, sure, I'll watch it with you. And I told them like, hey, this is a weird movie. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just weird. The Dead Don't Die, which is from
Oh,
2019. Because again, if you look at
okay.
like the cast, I'm like, oh, this should be great, and it almost feels like
You think it's going to be a lot funnier than it actually
it almost
is.
feels like a Wes Anderson movie that isn't that isn't, I guess, because it's all of it is super deadpan. It's all the kind of quirky cast of characters that would probably be in a Wes Anderson movie. and the story's kind of all over the place.
Yeah.
But I mean, I still chuckled at it more than I remember chuckling at it the first time, so I'm okay. Maybe better than I remembered. I watched Little Women. This is the one by Greta Gerwig.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's a decent it's a decent adaptation.
yeah. So lots of points throughout this where I was like, oh, I'm smiling. It makes me think of Pride and Prejudice, which I also love.
Yep. Yep.
However, they do jump around in the timeline on this one, and I think it got a little jumbled because it wasn't always super clear when they were actually changing times.
Yeah.
So I mean, still very solid, like 3.5, 4 out of 5. Then The Illusionist, and then on earlier today I watched The Rock, which is from 1996. This is Michael Bay, Sean Connery, and
Oh
Nicolas
yeah.
Cage and Ed Harris.
Sure.
Uh, which, boy howdy, Michael Bay's over the top action plus Nicolas Cage's over the top acting.
Oh yeah.
Uh, Insanity. Like, yeah, it makes. I mean, it's like a match that makes total sense, but also like it almost feels like you need someone kind of serious to ground either one of them.
Well, it's
Because that's
like
why I'm like, okay, Armageddon is like, okay, you get the normal seriousness of like Bruce Willis, and if you put Nick Cage in Bruce Willis's position, the movie would be even more hokey than it already is.
yeah.
So there's several points in this where I'm like, okay, if I don't know, Ed Harris is a good bad guy, and Sean Connery is, I mean, Sean Connery, but just all the stuff with Nick Cage, I'm like, you picked the wrong movie to go all the way overboard in because everything else is already mostly explosions.
Yeah.
And that's all. That's like 8 movies, which is fucking a lot.
That
So,
that is a lot. That's more than one a day.
yeah. Oh, and I watched a stand-up comedy, but I don't review or rate them because I don't. How do you fucking review? I mean, it was funny or it wasn't funny, and what's funny is super subjective.
Did you find it funny?
I find most. I mean, so this is Tom Segura Teacher, which came out this year.
Yeah, he's pretty funny usually.
Pretty funny, and like most of his stuff is story based. They're not like haha funny jokes. It's more like funny circumstances in life. So it's fine. I think I enjoy it. I don't know if I find it super hilarious. That's all that I've watched. This coming week, Hayden and I are going to be watching, reviewing, and talking about The Shadow, which I believe we may have referenced earlier. We will actually try and do it this week. This is mid-90s sort of hero, Alec Baldwin.
It's an adaptation of like a 40s era vigilante hero character, kind of like Batman before Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then I forgot. It was announced that The Revenant will be re-released in theaters in IMAX,
yeah.
which I think just for the cinematography alone, I might go see just because that's kind of the only thing the movie has going for it.
And I've almost forgot that I might go to the movies tomorrow daytime. There's a tiny indie film that I've been seeing all over the internet called Two Sleepy People.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, you've probably never heard of it. That's okay. Looks interesting, and it looks like a very small, like, oh, this is a super limited run, super limited theater nationwide. And
Cool.
I checked. I'm like, oh, there's like 11 a.m. at a Regal, so it's semi cheaper. So,
Sounds cool.
and it's only like an hour and 40 minutes. So I'm like, fuck it, I might go do that. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, so catch us here next time for us finally getting around to The Shadow. This has been The Illusionist from 2006. I'm Hayden, he's Duncan, and we will see you guys next time.